What is good, guys? We're taking contracts. How's everybody doing out there? So back again for some more long overdue movie reviews, thoughts of the past movies of 2023 that I've seen. 2023 is soon coming to an end. We got a couple more months, 3 months left before the end of the year. And like I said, 3 months ago, I made a post on my community feed on the channel. I showed you guys all the movies that I've seen, and I asked you, would you still want to see reviews of them? You said yes. You guys let your voices be known which movies you wanted to see more than the others. And I took votes of every movie. There were 6 that came out that got the most votes. Those movies being, and I'll keep saying it through every video, those movies being Megan, John Wick, which we're doing today, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumanium, check it out, I talked about that. Scream 6, we still got to do that. Cocaine Bear, I talked about that. And Creed 3, I talked about that. Movies like Spider-Man, Transformers, Evil Dead, and a few other movies that I still need to see, and we'll get movies because those movies I've seen, but movies I have not seen: Turtles, Blue Beetle, the last Dracula movie, all the movies that I still need to see, and of course the Equalizer 2. I got to see that. Where they will all get reviews, guys. I promise you. Don't say your alpha's not a man of his word, because I have kept my word, and here we go. So, with that, we're here to talk about John Wick Chapter 4, the 4th in the franchise. Keanu Reeves, the homie himself, brings his great character of John Wick back for some high-octane action. This takes place right after Chapter 3, Parabellum. And John is out for revenge. He's out for revenge on the high table for those who left him for dead. Even though, Winston is the one that shot. But this is the movie. This movie also, Keanu Reeves, of course, is the titular character. Donnie Yen, the homie himself, is in this. Bill Skarsgård, Lawrence Fishburne, Haruki Sanada is in this as well. Lance Reddick, rest in peace. This was his final film. Rina Sawayama, Scott Adkins, which was great to see in this. Clancy Brown and Ian McShane, of course, reprising his role as Winston. In this. Did I like this movie? Yes, I did. Very much indeed. This movie grossed worldwide $432 million worldwide, becoming the highest grossing film in the franchise. I believe, this is the highest grossing one in the film. The movie, it took $100 million to that was the budget, and I just told you how much it made, so there you go. There is a spin-off movie called The Ballerina, which comes out next year, June 7th, and supposedly a 5th film in development. I don't know why, because you're gonna know. I don't know why there needs to be a 5th one. There is a prequel series coming on Peacock called The Continental, which takes place in the 70s. So we get to see a young Winston when he takes over the Continental, which I'm looking forward to watching as well. So this film is John Wick at his best, Keanu Reeves at his best. He is out for revenge against the High Table. These are one thing I love about the John Wick universe is like they show like the upper echelons of order in these films. Like, yeah, you got the mob and all this stuff, but there's also an order of like an assassin's guild that has an order. The High Table. There's somebody who's up when you think you found the head of the snake. You're not. There's someone else, and we kind of see that in this film too. From a lot of things, from where John he travels to Morocco. You know, he's still healing. He was still healing with the Bowery King, Lawrence Fishburne's character, after the third movie, and you know he's getting himself back into shape to dish out his vengeance. And we see that the Marquis Vincent Balis del Gramont, this is Bill Skarsgård's character, has summoned Winston, who is the New York Continental hotel manager, and his concierge, and basically just belittles him and just punishes them for John Wick's actions. And then, of course, he even kills Lance Reddick's character. And then, of course, hires Kane. This is Donnie Yen's character to kill John Wick, who's been retired. But Kane has a daughter, and he doesn't want anything to do with this. But unfortunately, the Marquis is like, if you don't do it, we'll kill your daughter. And so that is the case. We see John travel all over, including to Japan. He's in Osaka. And we see him with his old friend Shimazu Koji, which is played by the great Hiroyuki Sanada. He is. I'm looking forward to his Shogun film that's going to be on FX. I'm looking forward to the show he's going to be on. What I also like about the film in general, before I move on, is there's no stereotypes in terms of the characters. Like, for example, Donnie Yen's character, his name is Kane, and Donnie Yen is Chinese, and he didn't have like some Chinese like name like Shang or Chow or something like that. I like that they did that. Like, they no stereotyping the characters. You know, there wasn't a lot of that. His daughter, Koji's daughter, played by Rina, she was badass in this. I loved her. She was badass with a bow. Like, this chick was badass with some bow and arrows. I love the fight scene between the High Table's men, who look like they're just decked out in suits, but their suits are armor plated like like John, but they're still getting whopped by Hiroyuki's character, his men, while they're at the Continental. And of course, we're introduced to Mr. Nobody, who is a bounty hunter or a tracker, and he's got this cool ass dog with him, who is I believe his dog was a Malinois dog, and he was that dog would rip the fuck out of you real quick. And one thing about John Wick films, they get the right dogs for these films, to show Malinois are just super dogs on steroids. These dogs are highly agile. These are some of the dogs that I believe in Europe they use as police dogs. These dogs are just just crazed, because they know John Wick is there. Unfortunately, Hiroyuki's character is killed by Donnie Yen because he refused to give up John's location, but Kane does spare Akira. That was his daughter. She was very upset with John, and she basically vowed, when she's healed up, because she was pretty banged up. I remember she got wounded. She basically said, "I'm coming after Kane. I'm gonna kill him." So we do get to see that. We get to see that she has marked Kane for death. Get it? Mark for death. Get it? But no, she was legit pissed off, and I can understand that. Rina Sawayama is she's great. I mean, she's great, and I mean, I didn't know. I knew enough about her. I knew she was an actress, but I didn't know she was a singer too, and I knew she was a model. And I would look at her, I'm like, wow, she's pretty. You know, but yeah, we get to see her in action. She looked like a badass. All the different characters that use bow and arrows, she was like right up there. And what I loved about it also is how she shot the arrow. She shot it like how they shoot in Asia, like instead of coming down, or well, most, you know, in the West we come down with the arrow, then pull. No, she would come up and then pull it, which I really enjoyed. They kept that true. The cast of characters in this was cool. John makes a plea to get everything settled. You know, he knows what he wants, and he knows he wants the marquee. He wants that marquee. He wants vengeful. And of course, Winston is vengeful too, because he's at the gravesite for Sharon. And he even gets a whole concept of revoking his being a part of the high table. When they introduced Scott Adkins' character, when they introduced Scott Adkins' character, I cracked up laughing, because if you would not think it was Scott Adkins at first, and you're like, wait, is that Scott Adkins? Like, and then because he's wearing a lot of prosthetics. He's the head of the German table. He was German, and his name was Killa Harka, and he's pretty big, but the fight scene between him and John was just like, well, he's still moving like Scott Adkins. Like, it was great to see. But the way he dies, I was like, oh, but it was funny. It was really funny. I liked Mr. Nobody too. You know, the tracker, the bounty hunter that was in it. You know, he was cool. He was cool indeed. And I love the homage in the final act when John is in Paris. The final act was legitimately straight out of The Warriors, because I was like, oh my God, this comes out of the war. I was like, oh my God, they're paying homage to The Warriors, because in the movie there's on top of the Eiffel Tower there was a DJ up there playing music, and she would come on and tell them about trying to stop John Wick, you know, and she was going, "He's here, boppers," and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, this is based on the Warriors. And John has got to fight his way just to get to this church in Paris. It was going to be a dueling pistols with Kane. So John has got to do everything he can, and the amount of watching these scenes of John fighting his way from Paris, trying to evade some even low, just people who just wanted to get money, and I'm just like, John, just knock these guys out and just move on. And there was even points where I was just getting tired of the Marquis men. I'm like, oh my God, would you fuck off? Like, it was just getting on my nerves. There's a scene where he had to run up these stairs, and at one point he gets as high up, and then they kick him off. And then he not only does he roll halfway all the way down the stairs, I'm like, God damn, that he got, and then he got to run back up. But I love it, Kane was like, hey, all right, I'm gonna help you. Like, I love that they did that, but the bounty was on John's head. It was like 26 million, and then the bounty increased to 40 million. Like, you had assassins, but then you also just had people who, you just had ordinary people in Paris that just wanted the money coming after him. And I love when John saved Mr. Nobody's dog, and it was like, okay, and he paid it back to him, so I really enjoyed that. By the time they get up to by the time the final act with the duel, I kind of had already sensed what might go down between him and Kane, and I thought it was done beautifully. Even though I figured it out, I was like, yeah, John's gonna fake it, or he's not gonna shoot, and he's just gonna wait till the Marquis does something stupid, gets full of himself, and he gonna blow him. He gonna kill him, and that's exactly what happened. Bill Skarsgård in this was not a likable character. I wanted to kill him. I wanted to kill Bill Skarsgård's character. I was like, you piece of shit. And there's a point where Kane shoots John when they get closer at a different pace, because it was, you step back, and then if you got to get closer, and you get closer, and John goes down, and the Marquis is like, no, I'm gonna do it. And Winston said, you arrogant prick. Basically said, you arrogant prick. He didn't shoot. And reveals that, John didn't fire his third bullet because it was 3 shots. And he shoots the Marquis. The Harbinger, which was played by Clancy Brown, grants Kane and John their freedom from the high table, and even reinstates Winston, which to the New York Continental, and he's even going to rebuild it for him. And we see a lot of reflection with John, his marriage, and we see John in his grave. Or do we? Yes, it seemed that John succumbed to his injuries, which this scene again reminded me of Cowboy Bebop, where it's played up. Did Spike succumb to his injury? Did he die? Or did he just pass out from he's just tired? Everybody has their own belief. I've always said he didn't die, he just passed out. I don't think there needs to be a 5th John Wick, because now it just feels like Lionsgate and them are just making the movie just because these movies make money. I don't think it's needed. I think at the end of the day, we all kind of felt that John was going to die. At the end, I always felt that. I was like, Yeah, John's gonna die. He's gonna die. There's no doubt about it. I think he is. I think he is. And he did. You know, I feel like he did. What more could, even though he was free, you know, he took some lethal gunshots from Kane. Even though Kane said thank you to him. But yeah, he did. And we saw them back in New York with Winston and the Bowery King, and they bid farewell to John, who was next, his grave was right next to Helen, his wife. Now I know some people will probably look at that and be like, well, it could be just a grave. He could be. He could have lived, but he just, you know, people just think he's dead now. And I don't know I think he's dead. That's just me. There's no need for him to go on. There's nothing more. He got what he wanted. He got his freedom, but who knows? Now, there is a post-credit scene at the end of the film. When I first saw the film, I didn't know there was a post-credit. So I didn't see it until I saw it when I got the Blu-ray. I saw it then. I was like, okay. We see Kane in Paris, reunited with his daughter, and Akira with a knife, ready to dish out vengeance for him killing her father. So yeah, that was something really cool as well. The John Wick films have just been unbelievably incredible. I love the film noir of it, the way Mr. Reeves, Keanu, portrayed this assassin, the Baba Yaga, as he's called. But, you know, him doing all the stunts and doing all the fight choreography, and him learning how to the way he would shoot a gun and everything like that, it was great. I loved that. And again, I always use John Wick as an example of all these people that say, oh, no other films could get some kind of play because all the superhero movies. Bullshit. John Wick came out, many of the John Wick came out during the time when the superhero movies were out, and he did damn well. So I hate, don't be using that as an excuse, in my opinion. It's just me. But I think he's dead. I think he's dead. There's no need to bring him back. If they are thinking about doing a fifth, you know, it's just, what more can you do? What is needed to be done? Now, I am interested in the ballerina. I am interested in that. But a fifth John Wick, I don't know. Now, how would I rank the 4 John Wick movies? Number 1, the first one is my ranks number 1 for me, because that was just underrated. I was looking at it like, okay, this may do good, but and it did great. 3, Parabellum is in the second tier. This the second, John Wick Chapter 2 is in the third, and the fourth one is this is in the fourth. That's how I rank it. Because at the end of the day, with the fourth one, I felt John Wick was gonna die. I'll keep saying it. John Wick is dead, and I think he's dead. If he's alive and he just faked his death, I'm like, and they do another one, I don't think it's needed. I really don't think it's needed. But I love the series. I love the franchise. I love the characters that are in this world is just incredible to me. The way they have captured this world, the John Wick universe, is amazing. I mean, the John Wick universe could have been a comic series or its own. It's just how good it is. But for anybody who has seen John Wick Chapter 4, you guys tell me, what did you think about it? Do you think John Wick is dead? That's what I want to hear from a lot. Do you think John Wick is dead? Do you think he faked his death and Winston and the Bowery King know where he is, but he's just staying off the grid? Do you think there's need for a fifth one? Do you feel that Akira killed Kane? Do you feel also, are you going to go check out The Ballerina next year? And are you going to watch the prequel of The Continental on Peacock? With that being said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this long overdue review of John Wick Chapter 4. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. You take care. What's up next? Megan. I'm finally going to give my long overdue thoughts on Megan. You guys take care. Bye, guys.